beautiful time. It is still counting days to the general elections as IEBC's last voter registration drive marked day 4. Firstly, I'm so appreciative of you for joining me on a 1-hour journey to a destination that will leave you more educated and informed on the stories making rounds in Kenya and the neighbors. Just a recap for you, Deputy President William Ruto has taken a swipe at Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka for supporting ODM party leader Raila Odinga for the presidency, claiming that Raila cannot be pushed to the presidency any further. This is as the 7-judge bench of the Supreme Court that was hearing the Building Bridges Initiative BBI appeal petition retired to make its final decision following the submissions. We have these and many more stories prepared for you tonight, and remember we have a 5 over 5 segment at the end of the bulletin where I will enlighten you about the BBI. Welcome to the authoritative and now the most watched bulletin that airs Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. and 9 a.m. and on weekends that is Saturday and Sunday at 9 p.m. My name is Rida Kering Chebet. Welcome on board. The bad blood between the outgoing Law Society of Kenya LSK President Nelson Havi and Chief Justice Martha Karambu Koome played out at the hearing of the Building Bridges Initiative BBI appeal at the Supreme Court on Thursday, January 20th. Havi had exceeded the time allocated for his submissions, a factor that CJ pointed out but did not seem to go down well with the outspoken lawyer. Millicent Makoha with more on what transpired at the Supreme Court.
11 and 12 respondents.
The 7-judge bench of the Supreme Court that was hearing the Building Bridges Initiative appeal petition has now retired to make their final decision following submissions.
Mali, may I start?
The 3-side hearing saw lawyers in both sides put up spirit arguments over the petition, which has elicited a lot of public interest.
Did the High Court and the Court of Appeal provide with exactitude the location of the basic structure doctrine? The answer is yes. And both the High Court and the Court of Appeal said, for you to identify the basic structure, you must look at the history beneath that particular article. Over and above the history, examine the text. Take, for instance, the judiciary. How did it migrate from the judicature to the judiciary? Because before the judiciary, the judicature was a department of the executive.
Lawyer Evans Ogada, a respondent in the case representing a civil society group, asked the 7 judges bench to be bold and rule with finality that the BBI process was illegal in its entirety. Ogada underscored that the appeal case has no merit, citing that it was a mean by a section of politicians to capture power.
This dispute has therefore had a benefit of the contribution of dozens of lawyers and a number of persons not formally schooled in legal training, and it has had the benefit of reasoning by a dozen superior court judges, 5 in the High Court and 7 in the Court of Appeal. Without suggesting that you are bound by the decisions of the High Court or the Court of Appeal, I submit that a product of the minds of a dozen superior court justices is not for dismissal by a wave of the hand. It must be taken seriously, and an element of deference must be given to it so that any disagreement with it must be after serious soul-searching and serious reflections. So that this court, I submit respectfully, should approach the reasoning of the 5 High Court judges and the 7 Court of Appeal judges with a substantial measure of deference. I submit that it's a sound principle of appellate advocacy and appellate judicial decision-making processes that when we're dealing with a second appeal, as is the case here, it is not appropriate to reintroduce and reopen for consideration concurrent factual findings of the Court of First Instance, in this case the High Court, and the Court of First Appeal, in this case the Court of Appeal. I urge you to dismiss the petition of appeal by the Attorney General. I have reasoned that the Attorney General in this matter was mourning louder than the bereaved, the IEBC, which was the real target of the analysis of Article 89, and we would advise it as much.
On January 20th, President Uhuru Kenyatta has been faulted for acting beyond his mandate by initiating a constitutional amendment process through the BBI process.
Ati bwana kitendawili ameambiwa na wale mabwenyenye ati aende abadilishe katiba, aongeze mamlaka ya viongozi, aongeze vyeo ya viongozi, sijui prime minister na gani.
Oluchir put a spirited fight on the issue of immunity, noting that the constitution does not give the president blanket immunity and the holder of the office can be sued if he acts outside his mandate as provided for in the constitution. The president's legal counsel, who submitted their submissions first, however, urged the Supreme Court to protect the dignity of the president by guaranteeing his immunity from any civil or criminal prosecution. Lawyer John Haminwa mounted a spirited argument before the 7-judge bench of the Supreme Court on Thursday, submitting that BBI was the brainchild of a crop of unimaginative politicians.
Dr. Haminwa, we also celebrate you and honor you for the work you have done in the profession. You have mentored many lawyers, and you have really defended the Constitution and the rule of law all your years. And for us, you remain our symbol of unity in the legal profession.
The seasoned lawyer and human rights defender who represented Kituo cha Sheria, a human rights non-governmental organization, told the court it was regrettable that BBI was engineered by a section of phony politicians out to perpetuate selfish interest. Dr. Haminwa accused proponents of the initiative of trying to promote ethnicity and marginalization in the country by treating and reserving few positions to some tribes. Earlier, the bad blood between the outgoing Law Society of Kenya President Nelson Havi and Chief Justice Martha Karambu Koome played out the hearing of the Building Bridges Initiative appeal at the Supreme Court on Thursday, January 20th.
What is the foundation of a democratic state? The foundation of a democratic state is based upon the social contract, with the trichotomy of parliament, judiciary, and the executive. And if any of those two are fused, then you are obliterating and obscuring that dichotomy. And I can say affirmatively, from my limited learning of the law, that the basic structure must of necessity include the executive, the judiciary, the legislature, and the Bill of Rights. Because for the Englishmen, they said, oh, King, no, you cannot rule us like this. We must have the Magna Carta for us to have terms of engagement. For the French and for the American, they said, we must have a written constitution. And for that, the king will not be the legislative. The king will not be the judiciary.
Havi had exceeded the time allocated for his submissions, a factor that the CJ pointed out but did not seem to go down well with the outspoken lawyer. The former Law Society of Kenya boss, however, did not take too kindly to the remarks, condemning the Supreme Court judges over what he termed as a frivolous approach in the matter.
I can lose a limb. I'll be given an artificial limb to make myself better. I can lose my sight, I'll be given glasses to make my sight better. But if you dismember me negatively by separating the limbs, the lower limbs and the torso, I will die. And if I'm to be succeeded, then I'll have to be replaced by somebody else, perhaps Nelson Harvey II. Essentially, that is the best and simplistic understanding of the basic structure. You will not give me a pig's heart to make me whole. I will live for 1 month and die. So I think to that extent that question is satisfactorily answered. Now, the 4 sequential steps, are they located in the Constitution? No, they are not located in the Constitution. Why are they not located in the Constitution? Let me use myself as the example. I was born, I will die. The manner of my death is not known. Perhaps I will die in my sleep. Perhaps, and to use Professor Githu's words, I will be assassinated, because in my status I cannot be murdered, I can only be assassinated. Perhaps I'll die of ailment. So you cannot define with exactitude the manner in which the Constitution will end. Therefore, if you see all these constitutions, the 2010, I believe, I'm not being asked to stop. The 2010, the 1969, and the 1963, they do not provide for the manner of end. But when you look at the 2010 Constitution, you will see it repealing the 1969 Constitution. Those 4 sequential steps, you will trace them from the writings of Professor Nubweze. I can categorize them as primordial, as the imperial creation. You cannot find them within the body.
Reporting for Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television, I'm Millicent Makoha.
And moving on, President Uhuru Kenyatta on Thursday presided over the passing out parade of 298 direct entry inspectorate cadet officers at the National Police College main campus, Kiganjo in Nyeri County. The graduating cadet officers, 220 male and 78 females, are specialist graduates holding varied undergraduates and postgraduate academic qualifications. The president asked the graduates to expect more demands of responsibilities and accountability from Kenyans. President Uhuru Kenyatta expressed confidence that the officers will apply their training and maintain integrity as they follow the orders of their superiors.
Today it is my distinct honor and pleasure to commence my 2022 National Security Calendar by presiding over the passing out of the first Cadet Inspectorate level officers of the National Police Service. As always, I am most pleased to see young Kenyans, as those before us, answering the call of public service and committing themselves to make Kenya a better and safer nation for all. Today's parade comes barely after 2 other pass-out parades, first of the Administration Police, the second of the General Service Unit of our National Police Service, and adding today's numbers, the total number of police officers who have graduated under my administration stands at 35,400. So, ladies and gentlemen, today it is a double joy as we graduate the first class to be admitted direct as mid-level managers of our police service. Secondly, It is also a historical day because out of the 298 cadet inspectorate level officers graduating today, 78 are female, indeed including the commanding officer of this parade, who has done a sterling job. This, I am proud to state, demonstrates clearly our commitment to engendering the security sector, and more importantly, our resolve to empower and to position our women in positions of leadership.
ODM leader and presidential hopeful Raila Odinga on Thursday took his campaigns for the top seat to the Ukuria region of Migori County. Raila was flanked by more than 20 Jubilee and ODM elected leaders who have vowed to support the former premiers in August polls. Azimio la Umoja presidential aspirant Raila Odinga was on Thursday installed as an elder of the minority Kuria tribe. The ODM leader was installed by elders from the Kuria community in Migori County.
Haya, nataka muangalie rais wetu amekabidhiwa kiti kuwa rais wa Jamhuri ya 5 wa Kenya. Msibono tunamtegemea amekaa kwenye kiti kuwa rais baada ya uchaguzi tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8. Sisi tumekubali wote, hatuna muda kupoteza tena. Ningependa kumwalika hapo tu.
The installation ceremony happened at Kehancha Stadium and it coincided with the Azimio la Umoja rally that entailed Raila meeting with professionals, elders, opinion leaders, politicians and aspirants from the community.
Hawa Kuria, hawa ni ndugu zetu, na nitaongea hapa Kisii, wanasikia. Wakikuja Kisii pia wakiongea huko wa Kisii wanasikia. Sisi tumekuwa watu moja kama Nyanza. Wakati tulikuwa na South Nyanza, tulikuwa na Wajaluo, tulikuwa na Wakisii, tulikuwa na Wakuria. Hao watu wote headquarters ilikuwa Kisii, na tulikuwa tunaongea lugha moja. Hawa vile tunaishi hapa Nyanza, hawa hatupigani, hatujapigana hata siku moja. Kuna wengine sangine tunapigana lakini hawa.
The move aims at ensuring the opposition chief consolidates Migori County votes, where the Kuria community accounts for 25% of the total 400,000 votes of the county.
Ningependa kumkaribisha His Excellency the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Mimi hapa nasimama kuwakilisha professionals wote katika hili kundi la professionals. Kuna ma-professors, madaktari, ma-accountant na kila type of cadre, na ningependa kusema kwamba His Excellency, kwa unyenyekevu wako ambao tumeweza kuona ukidhihirisha hata katika handshake, tutasimama na wewe. Na kwa ajili ya kina mama nikiwa represent hapa nasema kwamba Raila Odinga oye!
In his address, the ODM leader said the Kuria community has been close to his heart. He said his love for the community pushed him to spearhead negotiated democracy in 2013 polls that saw Wilfred Machage and Denny Tangati elected senator and women representative respectively.
Ana nguvu zaidi huyu Danita. Wakati lingine mnaona 2013 tuliketi chini na tukasema women rep iende Kuria, Danita, senator iende Kuria, tukaleta rafiki yangu Machagi, ama sivyo? Gavana ilikuwa pande ile nyingine, lakini naibu gavana pande hii, sivyo? Silikuwa namna hiyo. Hiyo inaitwa affirmative action.
The ODM leader pledged to work together with the Kuria community and said they will play a key role in his government if elected the president. Principal Secretary for State Department for Social Protection Nelson Marwa and Professor Chacha Nyaigoti, who were present, pledged to work together with the former Prime Minister.
Simubeona mzee wetu rais wetu wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Asante sana na Mungu wa mbinguni ambariki sana. Asanteni. Amekabidhiwa.
The meeting came days after the Deputy President William Ruto pitched a tent in the area, holding several rallies in Kuria East and Kuria West constituencies. The DP was in the company of area legislators Marwa Kitayama of Kuria East and Matthias Robi of Kuria West. In the August presidential polls in 2017, President Uhuru Kenyatta garnered 41,951 votes, while Raila got 21,202 votes, that is the 34% in Kuria. In the 2013 general elections, Raila tried a negotiated democracy between the Kuria and the Luo communities, but it flopped on the ballot. A similar move was rejected by both communities in the 2017 elections. For Maisha Prime Maisha Television, I'm Rida Kering Chebet. And now let's move into the story that made headlines since late December. The Senate Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights Committee on Thursday kicked off a two-day public hearing exercise on the contentious Political Parties Amendment Bill. The bill was introduced for the first reading on Tuesday last week and immediately committed to the Senate Justice and Legal Affairs and Human Rights Committee by Speaker of the Senate Kenneth Lusaka to conduct public participation. The Senate is slated to convene another special sitting on Tuesday next week to consider the bill. It will then proceed to its second reading, where members will have the opportunity to debate on it. The bill, which seeks to establish a coalition political party, created huge divisions during the debate at the National Assembly. The Central Organization of Trade Union Kotubos has thrown its weight behind the controversial bill. Deputy President William Ruto has taken a swipe at Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka for supporting ODM party leader Raila Odinga for the presidency. Ruto claimed that Raila cannot be pushed to the presidency any further. Speaking during UDA public rally at Kangundo town in Machakos County on Thursday, Deputy President William Ruto told the ODM leader Raila Odinga to shun violence ahead of the August 9th vote, urging his competitors not to continue to give excuses about violence. Bushebi Jr. with more.
Bottom.
Deputy President William Ruto has challenged ODM party leader Raila Odinga to disown violence as the country prepares for the 2022 general elections. Ruto said his team will not condone any sort of violence during campaigns, saying it is not a way to measure popularity and will not earn anyone votes.
We want to make sure that in our election equation there is no violence. And I want to ask ODM to disown violence, and the ODM leader must disown violence. He cannot continue to give excuses about violence. Violence cannot earn any votes in Kenya anymore.
Speaking in Tala during his tour of Machakos County, Ruto said some leaders have a track record of violence, accusing Raila Odinga of organizing goons to disrupt his rallies in Kondele and Kisumu County and the recent one in Jacaranda grounds in Nairobi County.
And those who have a track record of violence, they must give us an undertaking and give the people of Kenya an undertaking that they will not use violence in these campaigns. And when they lose the elections on 9th of August, they must commit that they will accept the verdict of the people of Kenya, and they will not swear themselves in, and they will not organize demonstrations, and they will not cause violence. They will pack their small bags.
The Maisha's attack on Raila, Ruto said the former Prime Minister must disassociate himself with the violence and stop giving youth handouts to cause disturbance during his competitors' campaign.
Awache fujo. Amepanga fujo Kondele, tukapigwa mawe. Amepanga fujo Embakasi, tumepigwa mawe. Mimi nataka nimwambie bwana kitendawili, mawe ni ya kujenga nyumba. Wacha kubebesha vijana mawe wapigane. Wewe tafuta sera Na kama ningekuadvise, tafuta sera ingine, wachana na handouts. Hawa vijana si wa kupatiwa handouts, tafuta sera ingine. Handouts na mawe haiwezi kukupatia kura. So wachana na fujo, tunataka uchaguzi wa amani Kenya. Na hawa wananchi sio lazima uwapige na mawe ndio wajue ni nini wanataka. Hawa wananchi wako na akili, na hawa wananchi watajiamulia.
Ruto at the same time took a swipe at Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, expressing his sympathy towards the Kamba kingpin for what he termed as betrayal by Raila.
Si mimi nilisaidia huyo bwana kitendawili mpaka akakuwa prime minister. Si nimesaidia rafiki yangu Uhuru Kenyatta mpaka amekuwa rais. Leo nikisema nisaidie hawa mahasla iko shida jameni. Si tupange hawa mahasla mpaka kila mtu aweke pesa kwa mfuko. Iko makosa. Na mimi sina shida na bwana kitendawili. Nilisukuma yeye mpaka akakuwa prime minister. Lakini wakati nilikundua huyu mtu apendi Mungu, nikawachana na yeye. Kwa sababu mtu mimi ndio. Sasa mimi nauliza nyinyi watu wa Kangundo, kama mtu analalamika ati kanisa imejengwa, anasema mnatoa wapi pesa hii mnaenda kujenga naye kanisa? Mtu analalamika watu wakitoa sadaka, huyo ni mtu anapenda Mungu kweli? Nikaona hii mtu hapendi Mungu, hapana. Mimi nikawachana na yeye, nikawachia Kalonzo. Kalonzo naye amemsukuma mpaka mnaona nywele siku hizi ya Kalonzo imeisha akisukuma hiyo mtu. Sasa mara ya mwisho nilisikia hata Kalonzo naye amechoka. Kalonzo amesema nitaonekana mjinga zaidi nikiendelea kusukuma hii mtu. Sasa hiyo mtu hasukumiki. So
Ruto said it was unfortunate that Kalonzo supported Raila in the last two general elections with an agreement that Raila would return the favor, but when it's Kalonzo's time, Raila changes tune.
Mimi nataka niwaulize, si lazima tutembee pamoja ndio tuunde serikali pamoja, ndio tutembee pamoja? Sasa mimi nataka niwaulize nyinyi watu wa Kangundo, sawa sawa? Mimi nataka niwaulize maswali mawili. Nimeona mmejipanga na wheelbarrow. Hii wheelbarrow imesumbua wanaume wengi sana. Mara unasikia wengine wanalalamika sijui wheelbarrow imefanya nini, sijui wheelbarrow imesema nini. Sasa wanasumbuka na wheelbarrow ya nini? Na hatujawauliza mambo yao ya machungwa, hatujawauliza mambo yao ya Simba. Ati wanasema ati tunapatiana wheelbarrow. Sisi tuko na sera ya bottom up. Kujeni na sera yenu. Ama namna gani?
Ruto said his bottom-up economic agenda is a plan for economic growth that begins at the community level with the farmer and the small trader.
Nimefanya harambee ya kina mama nyingi Kenya. Naelewa umuhimu wa kusaidia huyu mtu wa chini. Mpaka mwana kitendawili amelalamika. Sikia juzi alikuwa anasema huyu deputy president anatoa wapi pesa? Ati anatoa wapi pesa ya kupatia sijui mama mboga milioni 2. Sijui anatoa wapi pesa ya kupatia sijui bodaboda milioni 2. Mimi nataka nimwambie bwana kitendawili, wewe uelewi, kwa sababu hujakuwa mahali sisi wengine wetu tumekuwa. Shilingi milioni 2 ni pesa kidogo. Mwaka huu tunaweka pesa ya serikali bilioni 50 kwa biashara ya hawa watu wa chini huku.
For Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, Ambusha Junior.
Right, and with that story, I'm taking a short commercial break. I'll be back shortly. Stay tuned.
Now, education is always the key to success. Education is the background. Education should be the foundation. As Maisha TV, we embrace, we honor, and we value education.
Education is a way of bringing information, knowledge to our people. And that is the basic importance that we can see education doing.
We are here as solid partners to the growth of academics and career building in the nation. It is all here on your fastest growing TV station, Maisha TV, where you choose it, watch it, and love it. Knowledge is power. Information is liberating. Education is the premise of progress in every society, in every family. Welcome to Navaholo Technical and Vocational College. We value quality education and offer superb training to students at affordable school fees. The government will pay 30,000 shillings as bursary. In addition, Higher Education Loans Board gives 40,000 shillings for school fees and pocket money, which is available, thus the training is nearly free. Call us now, 0721 589977. That is 0721 589977. Email us at navaholotvc@gmail.com. Intake is now going on with applications. Navaholo Technical and Vocational College, Center of Excellence in Building and Civil Engineering. Najivunia kuwa Mkenya. Na ninajali matukio yanayojiri nchini Kenya na ulimwengu mzima. Natazama runinga ya Maisha ili nipate habari kamili. Naichagua, naitazama na ninaipenda. Maisha TV ni bora. Study your diploma or certificate course in fashion design and clothing technology, beauty therapy and hairdressing, among many. Our ICT department gives competitive courses guaranteeing both employment and self-employment through study of diploma in computer science, ICT, certificate in information technology, computer packages, and many more. For more information and application, hurry and contact us now on 0721 280 180 or 0726 800-561. Applications can easily be done by sending an SMS to 0721-280-180 or 0726-800-561 with your name, type of course, KCSE or KCPE mean grade, postal email address, desired intake, and your ID number. Or you can write to the Principal, Bushangala TTI, PO Box 2227, code 5100, Kakamega. You can visit our website www.bushangalatechnical.ac.ke. All examinations are carried out by Kenya National Examination Council. Provision for persons with disability is also provided. Bushangala Technical Training Institute, Center of Excellence. The stage is set. The time is now. Credible news. It is prime news. Only on Maisha TV. Prepare for the beast. Informative, authoritative, unbiased. Welcome to Maisha News. A big business starts small. Great ventures start from small beginnings, and that includes your small business. My hustle, my story on Prime News every day on Maisha TV.
Welcome back. And residents of Bungoma village within Bungoma South sub-county decided to take matters into their own hands after they scrambled for free fuel from a tanker that had overturned along the northern corridor. The truck was on transit to Malaba when the driver lost control, veering off the road. No casualties were reported during the accident.
No, ilikuwa overlapping, yeye mwenyewe kuna gari ilikuwa ni overlap. Naona sasa kaja akaniingia mbele. Unaingia mbele ile na ikawa kuna gari nyingine ilikuwa mbele yangu. Nikaona kuliko kuigonga mbele mimi kabidi niongeze pande hii ndio nikagonga. Mafuta diesel. Yes, ni wao waangalifu kwenye barabara sababu hiyo overlapping ni kitu cha muhimu.
Residents of Shinyalu constituency now want the county government of Kakamega to fulfill the promise they made to the residents of building a tea manufacturing factory. The residents who are tea farmers say that they grow enough tea leaves and now want to use them to make a living to support themselves and their families.
Tea growers in Shinyalu sub-county, Kakamega County, now wants the county government of Kakamega to fulfill the promise it made to them years ago, which is to construct a tea manufacturing factory in the area. The farmers say they have enough tea leaves and have a need to better their livelihood by manufacturing tea leaves.
Hiyo factory ya Madala, that is the only factory tunatarajia iwe hapa Shinyalu, because we don't have any other factory hapa Shinyalu. Hatuna chochote. Na hiyo factory kwa sababu tuko na Nyayo Tea Zone kule Secheno paka Kakamega, Nyayo Tea Zone iko, tuko na majani chai nyingi sana. Tukipata hiyo factory basi tutapata uchumi wetu utainuka watu wa Shinyalu.
The farmers are however faulting the government for failing to construct the tea factory, saying the construction was stagnated despite availability of funds to continue the construction.
Na sisi the all blame tunaweka kwa executive. Executive walidudanganya. Hii kiwanda Matala ile kitu walifanya, CDF ilinunua shamba, naye county government ikakuja kuweka fence. Ilipoweka fence hakuna kitu imejengwa pale.
The COVID-19 pandemic badly affected the farmers, who says their sales are not as good as before, leaving them with huge loans to pay, and have requested both the national and the county government to come in to their aid.
Ujumi umefanya tumesoroteka sana, yani kiujumi. Hata mahali mkukua mtu alikuwa anashikanga kidogo ndio apate bila chakula, imekuwa shida. Hata ukifuka kama hii ng'ombe hakuna hata nyasi. Sasa siku hizi tunaendelea tu, sijui kama hatujui mahali tuko.
Tungependa serikali yenye inakuja itusaidie, itupatie kwa maloni tufanyie biashara.
For Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television, I'm Jennifer Okonga.
And still in Western Kenya, the Kakamega County Health Department has expressed concern over the low number of vaccinated population in the county. According to the department, at least 300,000 people out of the more than 2 million people in the county have been vaccinated against the COVID-19 since the exercise kicked off.
We have a target to vaccinate a population of close to 892,000 adults. Those are people who are eligible for the vaccine. We have been able to vaccinate over 300,000 of our population. The last ranking that was done nationally, as a county, we were ranked position 5 among the counties. It is about 20% of the same. So we are still urging on our population, for those who have not received second dose, kindly come and receive your second dose to ensure full protection. For those who have received 2 doses and have finished 6 months, you are eligible to receive a booster dose. Kindly come and receive your booster dose, at least to ensure full protection.
Our appeal to the public is that we should continue with the protocols that have been provided.
And now let me usher in the education segment.
Bushangala Secondary School, which is found in Ikolomani sub-county in Kakamega County, is the school to watch out for, following the tremendous transformation in terms of academics, infrastructure, and co-curriculum activities.
This is Bushangala Secondary School, a school that has been around for quite some time. And I want to thank God for the far that we have come as a school, and I want to thank the school community for the warm welcome they gave me.
Speaking exclusively to Maisha television, Mr. Maisha Kastiba highlighted the key area the school has based in securing the top position in the coming KCSE exams.
So this third term for the year 2021, and as a school we have put all the programs in place to ensure that we achieve the mean that was set at the beginning of the year, a mean of 5.2. The candidates are doing their best. They are being guided by their teachers, and we have put best strategies in place to ensure that we realize the mean that was planned as the academic year was beginning. The teachers completed their syllabus much earlier, that is in term 2, and right now they are guiding the children through their revision. Children are being, the Form 4s are being tested weekly, being given weekly tests. That is a program that we have put in place to ensure that they master the content they have learned all the way from Form 1 to Form 4.
Weekly tests, among other strategies that are being used in achieving the school projected mean score.
They are being exposed to various mocks that have been done in various sub-counties in the country, and we are hoping that if they are taken through all these mocks, if we can be able to do over 30 mocks by the time they are getting to their KCSE exams, we are hoping that our candidates would have been hardened enough so that KCSE 2021, when they go and sit for those papers, it will simply be a walkover.
The school is proud of being champions in co-curriculum activities such as football and leg ball by producing the national rugby players.
My name is Yvonne. I'm Yvonne Hatundo. I'm 17 years old. I'm from Bushangala High School, which is a middle school. Yeah, I'm new with rugby. I'm a rugby player. I do play for my school and I do have a club. I also play for national team with Kenya Rugby Under 20, which goes by the name Shiblis. And my life with rugby, it has been cool. Even when I joined here, I found rugby, but it was just for girls, boys alone. So we started playing with girls, and now we're heading to have a team. And with rugby, I started playing rugby when I was still young. I was inspired by my mother. Like I was young, I used to fight, by the way. So I used to see my mother watching rugby. Then I said, like, this thing is good for me. I can do this. What can I do with my energy? Then I went at Kajiado County at Ngong. Those were to visit my aunt. I found my cousin playing rugby. Then I used to follow him, just to watch what he was doing.
Bushangala Secondary School boasts of various school projects. Among them include fish rearing, dairy, and crop farming, among many.
A school that has put in place so many programs to ensure that it is generating its revenue. Bushangala has grade animals, and the school entirely depends on its own milk. We have around 14 grade animals. The farm workers, they are able to feed them, they are able to milk the animals, and our students, they are simply depending on the milk from our dairy farm. We also have a fish pond in the school, and this pond is also generating a revenue for the school. We are using fish for feeding our teachers and our students, and the excess we are selling it to the outside world. In fact, the school is providing market to Ikoloman sub-county in terms of fish. So this fish pond is also generating a revenue for the school. Not to mention, we are also practicing pig farming. We are also practicing vegetable farming. In fact, we only get vegetables from outside for 4 days.
The deputy principal has acknowledged the high level of discipline from the students despite few reported cases.
Bushangala Secondary School. Basically, it is the principal who is in charge of discipline in school. And Bushangala being a mixed school, and more so in a school like this one, we are dealing with adolescents. There are quite a number of challenges that border on discipline, because these are adolescents that are transiting from one age to the other. But all said and done, I want to commend students of Bushangala Secondary School, because they've tried as much as they can to coexist as brothers and sisters, and that has actually given me a peace of mind. However, you cannot miss 1 or 2 students who will be found on the wrong side of the law. Such students, we handle them depending on the magnitude of the mistake they have committed. For those ones who commit mistakes that could be emanating from poor parentage, what we do, we normally advise the student to go home, come back in the company of the parent, and then we take them through counseling sessions. Why do we also involve parents in counseling session of their sons or daughters? It is because some of these parents also need guiding and counseling.
For Maisha Education segment, Maisha Television, I'm Millicent Makoha.
And still in the feature mood, let's get My Hustle, My Life, My Story.
The struggle seems to be getting more strong as most of the traders are now set to fight with the low economy caused by the restrictions given to curb the spread of COVID-19. This has been clearly evident as most of the small-scale traders in the western region of Kenya motivate themselves through advices for a good tomorrow.
This disease knows no boundaries.
In a My Hustle walk in the western region, we met Wairim, a cloth seller in the streets of Chebkube in Bungoma town, Bungoma County.
Nancy Wairimo. Mimi nauza manguo Chebkube. Nilianza mwaka wa 2019.
She narrates on how the journey of small-scale traders is at times rough, but the struggle they go through means they are doing whatever they can to create a good future.
Biashara nilianzia kwa barabara, sasa sijui mahali pengine, najua tu barabara. Hii ndio nalisha watoto wangu, ninasomesha. Enyewe biashara juu na challenge, nimeanguka mara kama 3 ama 4. Na nachaguanga wa viongozi kila wakati, lakini hakuna msaada napatanga. Nikianguka nijitetea mimi mwenyewe.
She pleads with the county and national government to at least introduce trader loans that can help boost their businesses whenever they are down.
Wangekuwa wako wanatupea takaloni kadogo tu kutoka kwa serikali, tunainua biashara zetu, ingekuwa afadhali. Kwa sababu mizigo zilienda juzi, tunafunguanga hizo bills na customer wakakuwa chache, watu wana pesa. Imetuadhiri tu kabisa, tumekuwa mpaka stock. Tumemaliza. Tuko tu tunangoja serikali na wanataka tuwachague. Mimi kile ningeomba wangekuwa nasaidia wanabiashara, wangekuwa wanapea loans kidogo kidogo. Tunainua biashara zetu. Kwa sababu sasa venye mtu ameanguka hivi na mtu akuja kupromote hata na 10,000, unainua biashara yako na unaendelea. Ungeanguka, county government tusikie tusaidie. National government.
She also urges other small-scale traders to keep on persevering as this situation will one day be off.
Ni kuvumilia tu, hakuna lingine. Tunavumilia tu hiyo kidogo yenye unapata. Ukipata ukikosa.
Antonio Sundwa, Maisha Prime, Maisha Television.
And now on to our news segment 5 over 5. Today let's talk about BBI. The Building Bridges Initiative is a political agreement which is in place in Kenya. It was agreed in 2018 in response to the unrest following the 2017 elections. The agreement attempts to prevent further election fraud and hostility. It has been criticized for keeping power amongst the elite and away from the people. In August 2017, Kenya held a general election in which the President Uhuru Kenyatta defeated the challenger who was Raila Amolo Odinga. This meant Kenyatta will be president from 2013 until 2022. However, the result was declared unjust by the Supreme Court, leading to a separate presidential election. Kenyatta won again, this time by a landslide, but many still felt the result was unfair. This led to months of tension within the country and even caused some violence. In order to avoid conflict, the two men shook hands and proposed the BBI. The BBI report was first published in November 2019. But after some complaints, a second and final version was published in October 2020. Its main goal is to prevent election fraud and election hostility. It tries to do this by shifting power away from only the winner of the election. Proposals include introducing the role of a prime minister, electing more members of parliament, and providing county governments with more funding. Many people have criticized the Building Bridges initiative. They argue that the problem is not with the power going to the winner of the election, but rather with the power being in the hands of the elite and not the people. The proposals in the BBI report make this problem worse by introducing more positions of power within the elite and making it harder for new political challengers to compete in elections. Instead of building bridges between opposing parties, the Building Bridges initiative is building walls between the politicians and the people. Our warning sign is that the BBI is not being put to a vote, even though it proposes changes to the 2010 constitution. The Kenyan people cannot currently make a democratic decision on whether to accept the BBI or not. However, the rerun of the 2017 election shows that by making their voices heard, they are able to demand democratic rights. If they act now, the Kenyan people can secure a chance to accept or reject the BBI themselves. That was our Prime 5 out of 5 with me, Rida Kering Tibet, from the editorial board that brings you the authoritative and the now most watched bulletin that airs Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. and 9 a.m. and on weekends, that is Saturday and Sunday at 9 p.m. That marks the end of the comprehensive and authoritative bulletin, Maisha Prime News. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.